Good afternoon, or evening, or morning, or who even knows? Or if you're watching this back later, good later. I'm Sock Marionette. I am a middle-aged lady in a tiara, doing business as bargain counter argument and hosting a live stream. I see Hermieville is here. She says, "Hey, Socks, glad to have Sprints to hang out in. So glad to see you. I think that this makes us international. Well, we were international because we had uh, people from the US and people from Canada. I don't know about other countries, but now we've gone transcontinental. It's very exciting. Transatlantic. I am so excited. Uh, so welcome, welcome, welcome. It is where I am. It is Wednesday afternoon at 2. It's overcast today, but it was very warm. I went out and I did some errands. I was going to do errands yesterday, but I was just like too tired. I was like, no, that's just not happening. So I went out today and I did some errands, and now I'm home. I'm in my nightie. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm wearing my special lightweight tiara because I don't have a headache, but I have like this kind of a bit of tension in my neck, so I don't want to wear one of the really heavy tiaras. So that's that. Oh, Stormy's here, and have Stormy. Hi, Storm.
Hey,
I was just saying how we have Hermieville is checking in for the first time. And they are in the UK, I believe.
cool.
We've gone transatlantic. It's very exciting for the first time. How are you?
Good. It's getting chilly here, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so no chainsaw wielding today because it's really windy outside and too cold.
Well, I just, you were like, I have to go operate a chainsaw. And I'm like, if it were me, I'd be like, ooh, I get to operate a chainsaw. But I guess for you, it's old hat. Jenny Reads Romance is here. Hi, Jenny Reads Romance. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so, yes, I was just saying how I did errands today. I went outside. I was wearing my coat. I looked around and it was overcast, but it was, in the 40s. And I was like, you know what? I think the coat is more hassle than it's worth. So I dropped it off, went out and did my errands, and never looked back.
And see, you're up there where it gets cold all the time. So I
Not where I live. Not where I live. It's pretty mild here.
it our temperature started out in the 40s, and it's gonna just steadily drop until it's 16 tonight. So I'm not happy.
Stacey's here. Hello, at work, so may not stay for long. You're here for a good time, not a long time. I can relate. And Jenny, I don't know where she is, but she says it's 9 degrees here. Burr, I like winter, but not this. Well, like I said, it was pretty warm today. We were supposed to get nasty weather going on into the weekend, but they've kind of revised that. It's been very mild here the last few years. So I did my stuff, and I went to a library I haven't been to in ages. I went to the academic library at Wesleyan University, and I got some books.
Cool.
Then I went to the public library and got some books. Then I went to Marshall's to do returns, and I got some books. And then and then I went to a Dollar General where I looked at the books, but I didn't get any. I was mostly there for sour cream and those powders you put into drinks to make them more amusing.
Yeah, I like those.
I want to make chicken stroganoff tomorrow, and I was like, I have everything I need except including mushrooms that are getting a little dubious. I have everything I need except sour cream, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they have it at Dollar General because I was going to go there anyway. And I was like, because if I'm going to Dollar General, I don't really want to have to go to the grocery store. They had it. They had it. I was so excited. This is the life I am leading. I was very excited that I could get sour cream at Dollar General. And Hermie says, that's true. I am in the UK. It's 7 p.m. for me, so may only hang out for a short while, but it's glad to be here for however long I manage. Hooray, hooray, hooray. I haven't joined your Discord yet, but I intend to. I want to watch Welcome to Hermieville first. And that is a longer video. This is Hermieville, new friend to the channel, Hermieville. And they have a welcome to Hermieville video, but it's like 50 minutes long. And I want to watch it when I can give it mostly my full attention. But they also do something that's like move for mind. And so I thought I would get out the walking pad and watch the video while on the walking pad. It would be super appropriate, I'm hoping. And Hermieville adds, feel free to just call me Hermie. My handle being my channel name tends to throw people off a little. Well, actually, I just say Hermieville because it's what I see in front of me. In my mind, you're Hermie. I believe Hermie is short for hermit. So, can relate.
I do that a lot too. Like, even if I know the person's name, I tend to almost want to read the handle that I see up there.
I know. When you're in the chat, when you're commenting as opposed to in front of me, I'm always like, Storm reads. And it's like, it's Stormy or Storm. Yeah. And I'm like, Storm reads. Okay, so for those of you who are new, welcome, or watching it back later and you haven't watched it before, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And like I said, I'm very excited because as far as I know, Hermie being here makes me transatlantic. Very, very fun. Oh, another comment.
Okay, you're the book hermit. Okay.
Huh?
Is that Hermieville? I said, is the book hermit.
Okay. I guess.
Yeah, well, I think I knew her more like the book hermit. I was already subscribed. So
okay.
I just didn't know that.
I think it's actually more of a they-them situation. So hey sock, or preference, I should say, not situation. That makes it sound like it's difficult. It's not. It's a preference. Megan says, hey sock, I'm glad to be able to join today. Just knowing today was midweek motivation gave me the motivation I needed to vacuum. So I got that done before hopping on. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And Hermie says, yes, I added timestamps for the Hermieville tour because it ended up way longer than I thought I'd planned for. Well, I know how that goes. So yes, and Canada is represented by Megan. So anyway, what we usually do is we have an initial sprint that's just 10 minutes long. And we call that, thanks to Nicole, who hasn't been able to make it for a while because she has scheduling issues. Hermie says, yeah, I changed my channel name from the book hermit. Thank you for being a subby. I appreciate your support so much. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, I was just explaining about the 10 minutes of yuck. Nicole calls it the 10 minutes of yuck, and I have cheerfully appropriated that, stolen it, if you will. TM Nicole. And the 10 minutes of yuck is just 10 minutes where, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I kind of like, personally, I tend to use it for things that I don't really want to spend more than 10 minutes doing, like cleaning, answering emails, business type emails, I don't know, balancing my checkbook. Do people even balance their checkbook anymore? I just check my balance every few days and make sure it's what it should be. Maybe making phone calls or whatever it is. It's just 10 minutes, and it's then you the idea is to just do 10 minutes of something a little bit less than pleasant and then come back, have some conversation, and then maybe have some sprints that are a little bit longer, usually 30 minutes. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, depending on how the rounding goes. My 10 minutes of yuck today involves going up to the attic. Stormy's like, going up to the attic. Babe, I live in the attic.
We have roommates in our ceiling. I don't know, that would be, we have little critters up there. I can hear them running around. I think we have squirrels in the ceiling.
Oh, I always have squirrels in my attic. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so I'm going to go schlep some stuff up to the attic, schlep some stuff down from the attic, and I certainly do not want to do that for more than 10 minutes. Although, actually, it's 9 minutes past the hour, so it'll probably be, I'll just, like, round it to 20 minutes past the hour. So it'll be, like, 10 and a half minutes of yuck.
That's fine.
And the other thing I do, oops, let me see if I can get it. No, that's not what I want. By the time I finish messing around with stupid stuff, it will definitely be I also will put a link to the radio station I listen to while I'm doing 10 minutes of yuck. It is classic rock. If anybody's interested in listening to classic rock from Central Connecticut. And so sprinting until 20 minutes past the hour. Gosh, one day I will type this without any problems. Stacy says, I have bats in my attic. Not the sexy vampire kind either, but they're the kind that eat insects. So, that's helpful. Okay, let me put this so that it's all on the same line, and I will see you in about 10 minutes. Oops. There we go. Okay. I guess we're over. Huh. Apparently, I forgot to mute my mic. That was brilliant of me. How's everybody's 10 minutes of yuck gone? I spent 5 minutes up in the attic and then 2 minutes picking splinters out of my socks and whatnot. And I was reminded, I was taking my Christmas books up to the attic, the ones that I didn't get around, well, the ones I read and the ones I didn't get around to reading. And this is what I did with the ones I didn't get around to reading. I kind of was inspired by your Bookmas videos. I wrapped them.
Oh, yeah.
I wrapped them And I want to do unseasonable reading throughout the year. So whenever the mood strikes me, or maybe on the 25th of the month, I haven't decided yet, I could just go up and grab a wrapped book and just see what it is and then read it.
I think that sounds like a cool idea. And I think you should do it on the 25th. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning toward. But I have two that I didn't wrap because they're new books that I like. I have Good Spirits by B.K. Borison, which everybody says is like really good. I didn't wrap that because I wanted to get to it this last. Well, I mean, I wanted to get to all of them, and I knew I wouldn't get to all of them, so I didn't wrap that one. And then I picked one up the other day at Montgomery and Taggart, Connecticut's first and so far only romance bookstore, and I can't remember what it was called or who it was by, but it had a pretty pretty cover.
So I
And
think that store is based on Jude Devereaux.
yeah, they actually have like a not quite full size set of armor, but
Yeah,
it would
I'm
fit
trying
like
to
11.
collect that. I'm trying to collect that series.
Yeah,
I got a few of them. Yeah.
because in this store they have a set of armor that looks like it would probably fit a tallish 7-year-old, and this set of armor is holding one of the Montgomery and Taggart books.
Oh, that's cool.
So they have like a whole. It is very much, yeah. It's Jude Devereaux inspired for sure. And so I took those up to the attic, and yeah. So I think I'll do that maybe as a video or a short on the 25th of the month. I'll just be like, I grabbed this book. I didn't pay too much attention to what they were. I mean, I did a video about them during Vlogmas, but when I wrapped them, I just was like, I'm not really paying very much attention. The only thing is that some of them are categories and some of them are not. So it's pretty obvious. So I can decide like how
like
long of the book
smaller ones, are going to be like category and then like, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then I can choose. Oh, the only one I didn't wrap was, I think it's called like Moonlight, Mistletoe, and Menorahs, or Moonlight, Menorahs, and Mistletoe, or something like that, because I meant to read it during Hanukkah. And I was like, oh, it's the first day of Hanukkah. And the next thing I knew, Hanukkah was done. I was like, how did that even happen? And so I didn't wrap that one because I want to make sure that I have a chance to read it,
It's kind of like, how are we already on the 14th of January?
I know. And this is what Megan did. She said, I started going through some online training I have to do for supply teaching. Ooh.
I got a few of my Stephen King books that I need to put on Pango and got them out and was looking at them to see if they were book club editions or the real thing.
Which books are they?
Eye of the Dragon.
Suckers! Sorry, I always yell. My mom and I both, whenever we see a school bus going past, we always yell suckers.
Eye of the Dragon, which I'm fairly certain is a book club edition. Gerald's Game, which I think is an original one, and then The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. That's the 3.
I was going to say, I'll take them off your hands, but those are not books I particularly need to own. So Jenny says, I should have gotten myself wintered up to go get the garbage bins, but I was too lazy. I just started picking up the kitchen instead. Well, I mean, that's something that needs to be done as well. I actually went and got the garbage bins fairly early. My mom, she hasn't been feeling too great, and then she's finally on the comeback trail. And she said she went downstairs. She went downstairs once to get coffee, and then she came back up, and then she went down a second time, and she's like, wow, up and down twice in like less than an hour. This is pretty good. And she said, I was feeling pretty spry, and she was all ready to go out and see if she could get the trash bins if she felt up to doing that. And then I suddenly came out and just like did an end run around her and beat her to it, basically. And Lisa says, hey, all, I'm just being a lurky turkey today. Hey. And Hermie says, I got a chapter read of Taming Your Gremlin in that sprint. Nice. That sounds like it wasn't so much 10 minutes of, that sounds like it was pretty fun. Is that middle grade, or what's Taming Your Gremlin?
I have no idea. It's probably one of those monster romances.
Huh?
It sounds like one of those monster romances.
Oh, I wondered if it was like How to Train Your Dragon, only like maybe it was middle grade or something. Megan says, Jenny reads romance. LOL, I need to take recycling and stuff out too. And Hermie offered the following reassurance. You're just taking a different route through your to-do list. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, it's still doing stuff. Oh, it's mental health nonfiction. Oh, well, that makes sense.
So, and like just a gremlin inside your head or something.
Jenny says it just seems like too much work. Don't do it, Megan. Just don't. Just don't. Let's see. So, I guess I'm going to talk about books I picked up at the library. As I said, I went to the academic library, which I want to do a video about that sometime, but that was not today, because Wesleyan University is in the same town where I live. They have town borrowing privileges. I can check out, I have to pay an annual fee. It's like $35. It's not too expensive. I can check out 10 books at a time, and I don't have access to much in the way of their electronic resources, but I still managed to pick up some stuff. I'm getting ready for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to be doing, as I may have mentioned, I haven't done a formal announcement video. That comment from Megan, she says, all right, Jenny, you convinced me. Sounds like she didn't have to try too hard.
Twist my arm.
I'm going to be doing, I had so much fun with Vlogmas and 12 Days of Christmas. Well, I had so much fun with Vlogmas that I immediately pivoted to 12 Days of Christmas. I was like, this is fun. I need a break, but it was fun. So I'm going to be doing a video a day during the 14 days from the 1st of February until Valentine's Day. And I'm going to anchor that around a couple of things. And one is we're reading one of these short stories from Meet Cute. These are sealed short stories, and it's one a day for 14 days. And the authors include Jennifer L. Armentrout, Danielle Clayton, Nina LaCour, Catherine McGee, Julie Murphy, Sarah Shepard, and others. So I'll be doing that. And also I have enough different category romance lines that I will be reading a book from a different line every day. Oh, yes, until I fall apart, which will be on day 5.
That is cool.
That's my prediction. So that's what I'm doing. And one of the things I thought I would do for fun to prepare for it was to read some books about romance novels. So I got them from the academic library. Good afternoon, says the spooky library friends, popping in to say hello and to squeeze the like button. Happy sprinting. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. And yeah, so I got... Let's see. The Regency Companion. And where am I going?
That's cool. I would love to have a book like that about romance books.
Well, this is the Regency Companion, and it's by Sharon Loudermilk and Teresa Hamlin. Aren't they? It's copyright 1989, and it's basically... It kind of gives you some stuff about like the practical aspects of living in the Regency. Like there's a chapter on the London season, how they played, how they lived, the rest of the year, the real world and real purpose, and a dictionary guide to rude and vulgar slang and cant. But it seems to me that I think Sharon Loudermilk and Teresa Hamlin are themselves writers of Regency romance, maybe, but I'm not sure. Those names are familiar and not in an academic.
They sound kind of familiar, but
yeah. But anyway, it's just kind of like stuff you would probably find interesting to know if you read a lot of Regency romances or you're interested in writing one.
And I was gonna say sometimes you come across some language in there that you're like, I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Yeah. So, yeah. Usually context sorts you out, but you're still kind of like, I would like to know.
I find that even in like these Harlequin ones or whatever, like there's words that we don't use now or not as much, and I'm like, what is that? Like I had never heard anybody say mustachioed before, ever.
Oh yes, mustachioed. That's pretty.
And so I had to look it up. That just meant a guy with a mustache or whatever. But I was like, I have never heard that before.
Well, the other thing is like more old-fashioned usage, and also a lot of those Harlequins are, of course, written by people who are from Britain.
Yeah.
So you have both. For those of us in the U.S., you have both the distance geographical and temporal distance. It's like, oh, this is slang from the UK from 50 years ago.
Yeah, and so I guess I always say, like, you know, you can read romance and still get, you know, learn something new, because like,
yeah, and the other thing about this book is
that I'm like, I don't know what it is. I'll like get on the computer and be like, what is that? And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing we have the computers. Is that a Valentine's Day Advent book? Well, I mean, if you want to use the term Advent to refer to Valentine's Day, yeah, it's kind of like that, because it's 14. And the idea is you read one a day from February 1st until Valentine's Day. So, yeah, it's kind of
in the same vein as the Advent books. Yeah.
It's the same principle. Anyway, this book, though, is copyright 1989, which would have been handy to have when you didn't have the internet.
Yes, it would have. Yeah, because like,
and even if you had the internet, it was more limited. And if you don't actually have Teri handy, because Teri knows all the stuff. So I got that. I wasn't specifically looking for. I was just kind of browsing around the two books I had in mind. So I was just kind of surfing the stacks around them to see what I could find. And I also found Romance Revisited. And this is edited by Lynn Pierce and Jackie Stacy. So it's essays by various academics, I think.
You know, one thing that I think that they should do, like you have Paperbacks from Hell, which is about retro, like 70s, 80s horror books. And
that's the one by Grady Hendrix, isn't it?
Yeah. And it shows all the cool covers and all that and a little bit about them. And it's got the history of like where certain things came into, like the Satanic Panic and all that kind of stuff. And I have a book that covers, you know, crime fiction from like Edgar Allan Poe all the way through all, you know, the pulp stuff and things like that. But I don't think I've ever seen anything about like romance, you know, like
the founders of the website Smart Bitches Trashy Books, they wrote a couple of kind of jokey books about reading romance. I got them from the public library, and it was like they were kind of fun, and they had some historical stuff, but it was they were kind of jokey, and the humor didn't always land for me. And also they were kind of defensive, you know. And it's like, you know,
well, you know, I think it would just be fun to say, like, you know, this is like what romance was at this time in history compared to, like, you know, this time in history to this, and just the, like the covers and how they've evolved and things. Like, I absolutely love retro ones, and I'm not a huge fan of the ones these days, but there's a lot of people that are fans of the ones these days and everything. I do not like fake romances.
So, but what we have here is these are definitely more academic, because you have like one essay is Women and Heterosexual Love, Complicity, Resistance, and Change. Romancing the Helix, Nature and Scientific Discovery. And Literature Beyond Modernism, Middlebrow, and Popular Romance. So, you know, the postmodern romances of feminist science fiction. So it's like all kinds of different things. So
like essays of like people have wrote about romance and things.
Yeah, but very much with the academic bent. And then I have a natural history of the romance novel. Of course, it's an academic library, so they don't have dust jackets. A natural history of the romance novel.
Well, that's interesting.
And
when's that from?
That is from 2003, University of Pennsylvania Press. And it is, this has like the romance novel 1740 to 1908. And then they have the 20th century romance novel, including a chapter on Georgette Heyer and Janet Daly. The chapter is actually called Harlequin Silhouette and the Americanization of the Popular Romance Novel. That's about Janet Daly. And a chapter about Jane Ann Krantz, another about Nora Roberts. So
interesting.
And then this is a classic, Reading the Romance, Women, Patriarchy, and Popular Literature by Janice Radway.
Huh.
And this was originally published in 1984. This is a revised edition from 1991. And this is like a classic. She was really the first person, I think, to really write about it, to the point where anybody who writes about popular romance fiction now is always like, as Janice Radway said, or in contrast to what Janice Radway said.
Okay.
And then this one is Dangerous Men and Adventurous Women by Jane Ann Krentz.
Oh,
and it's romance writers on the appeal of the romance. And this is also University of Pennsylvania Press, 1992. So we have
a lot of that author's books, but I haven't read her yet.
Yeah. Well, she also wrote as Jane Castle, and
yeah, that's why I was like, I got several different versions of her, I guess you could say. I think she's like Amanda Quick too, or something. I think.
So yeah. So there's Jane Ann Krentz, Kathy Lins, Laura Kinsale, Susan Elizabeth Phillips, Daphne Clare, who's a New Zealander who wrote a lot for Mills and Boon Presents. Robin Donald also. I think she was Robin Donald. I think she was either New Zealander or Australian. Elizabeth Lowell, Mary Jo Putney, Penelope Williamson, a whole bunch of people. Sandra Brown, Diana Palmer, Catherine Giles Seidel. I actually interviewed Catherine Giles Seidel in 1988. So those are the academic books I picked up. So then I went to the library to pick up Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. Because last time I was in the library, they had a whole bunch of Catherine Cowles books. And I got home and I just kind of, everybody says such nice things about Catherine Cowles that I was like, I want to check her out. This is Sparrow Falls. I got all of the Sparrow Falls books except for the first one, which was checked out. I hear about her a lot. I guess we run in different circles.
Yes, we do.
And so I put a hold on it because it wasn't on the shelf because somebody had it checked out. So my hold came in. So I'm going to read the first book and then see if I want to proceed from there. And
so she's more like a modern author than right? Yeah.
Contemporary. I mean,
I think that's like my thing is like I don't really keep up a lot with like the more modern.
Yeah, I know you prefer the retros.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I like them myself. Dating at the End of the World by Jennifer Rose. This was the book I picked up off the hold shelf. You just like grab your own books.
Oh yeah.
And it happens to be right next to the new romance bookshelf, so I always take a look. And Wild Card by Elsie Silver, book 4 in
I see, like I heard that one's name because she's like really popular with the people that I even hang out with. So, because I think Tiffany,
you hang out with me, but
I think like Tiffany has mentioned them and Blake maybe or something.
And Winging It With You by Chip Pons. It's about a dude who is. This dude and his boyfriend are going to be on a show that's kind of like, what is it called? The Amazing Road Race? Or no. What is that show called? The Amazing Race. Just The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
They're going to do that. And his boyfriend dumps him at the airport. And he's like, I'm emotionally devastated. And also we were going to do this show.
Oh no.
So he found, so he actually ends up meeting this pilot who has been grounded because he doesn't take any vacation time. And his employers are like, you need to like have some downtime. And so they just run into each other. And I guess they decide to go ahead and do the Amazing Road Race. It's actually in the novel, it's called The Epic Trek, but it's the same thing, right? So they decide they're going to do this together. And I guess a romance ensues. I had never heard of it. I hadn't heard of this author. I hadn't heard of this book. But when I read the summary, I was like, that sounds pretty fun. And the tagline on it is Catching Flights and Feelings. So anyway, I thought that sounded like a lot of fun. But
I
today,
like it when taglines are kind of cheesy.
Well, yeah, that's part of their charm.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling myself anyway. But today, and I don't think I'm going to actually be able to finish this in a single afternoon, but that's okay. Because there's always next week. I will be reading Love at the Shore by Teri Wilson.
Oh, that's that one you were mentioning earlier.
I mentioned it during the reading sprints, the
Yeah.
live show, the live stream. I used to speak English just fine. Not anymore. Not
Monday
anymore.
Night Lives, that's what I call it. So.
Monday Night Live. Yes, I was talking about this because Teri Wilson is the romance category book club author of the month that Sarah of Reading Category Romance is doing. And she's decided to do the book club as she just picks an author and then people read whatever they want by that author. And I was like, well, it's not actually, it is a Teri Wilson writes a lot of category romance. This is not a category romance. So, and then Sarah was just like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. This is a novelization, because it was funny because Sarah was talking about Teri Wilson and she's like, oh, she's very Hallmarky. And I'm sitting there thinking, yes, I know. Because this is a novelization of a Hallmark movie. The script was not written by Teri Wilson. She wrote the novelization.
That's what it's kind of funny because she was like, she's such a sweet romance. And then the ones in the comments were saying, my eyes or whatever.
Poor Daniel. He dips his toe into romance and he's been told, oh, don't worry, this is a sweet, clean writer and everything. And then it turned out that like the book he picked and a couple of other people picked, it was like, it turned out that it was by Teri Wilson standard. a little bit of an adventure that they went on. But it's funny because he's left a couple of comments on my bargain counter argument after hours videos. And he's like, oh, this sounds, it was the Pucking Around series by Emily Rath. And he's like, he left a comment saying, oh, I like the puns. And I'm like, don't read these books. Do not read these books. I said, these fruits would be bitter to you.
I know. I was
enjoy
like,
the puns, but
the tamest one out of all the Teri Wilsons because Dog Days of Summer was very sweet.
yes, and they're just reading. What was it? The slutty ballerina or something? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, whatever. So I have this one, which is a novelization of a Hallmark movie. So I don't know. Usually I read category romance during one of these things, but this is a longer book. So I don't know if I'll finish it today, but I will try. Attempts will be made.
As fast as you read, you'll probably get it almost done.
It's like 250 pages, but it's actually fairly easy to read.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of those, especially those Harlequins, the presents and the romances, sometimes it's like 180 pages, but the print is fairly small and it's really close together.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, that takes a little bit of eyeball effort because that's how I read.
Especially like the like retro ones, because like the ink is just different too, and sometimes the words are smushed together, and it's like, what is that?
Yeah, well, and also the paper. Yeah. I mean, they're pulps, literal pulps, and the paper's not great, and the ink's not great.
Yeah. And
time has had its way with them. So anyway, so yes, I was trying to recruit you to this 14-day countdown to Valentine's Day. And you're like, I can't read a book a day, but I can feature a book a day.
I was like, I can show one, but yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. We all celebrate in our own ways. So anyway, this is, let me get you some information. What are you going to be reading? Or are you going to be like doing something else?
I am listening to a cozy mystery. So I'm listening to Devil in the Details by Vicki Delaney. It's the latest one in the Sherlock Holmes bookshop series. One of my favorites.
Okay, now, is this different from God Rest Ye Murdered Gentlemen? Different series?
Yes. Same author, different series.
Yeah. Well, people were talking about how she also writes under a different name, but I can't remember what it was. Eva Gates. So this is copyright 2019. It is 254 pages long, and in the back there is a recipe for shrimp scampi.
Awesome.
So because yes, so that's what I'll be reading, and you'll be listening to Sherlock. What was it called again? The actual title?
The Devil in the Details.
Devil in the Details, which is from the Sherlock. Is it bookshop or bookstore?
Bookshop.
Okay. So I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 2:45. So shall we go until 3:15 and see how we feel?
Sure.
Okay. So we are sprinting until
Don't
quarter
forget to
past.
mute.
I am surprised your ears were not like blistered because I was cussing up in the attic because I kept banging my head on beams. But I
I
guess it was
could
far
hear
enough away.
like some oofs or some or whatever, and I'm like, what's going
That was just me. Like when I sit down, I'm like, ugh. Okay, sprinting until 15 past the hour. Okay, I'll see you then. And muty mute. And we're back. How'd it go?
Good. I got to 29%. So.
I got to page 70. I forgot to read like the summary and everything before. But we had a couple people stop by. Kristen Lee's Corner, also known as the never-ending TBR in Kristen's Corner, said hey. And Daniel said, shh.
Okay. His name is Brian.
Brian? Why do I think his name is Daniel?
I don't know, but yeah.
Sorry about that. Shh. Brian said, shh, sneaking in at work to smash the like button. Don't tell my boss. And I said, Daniel? What Daniel? I don't see any Daniel. And that turned out to be true in ways that I did not realize. I didn't see Brian either. Okay.
We won't tell.
I am so sorry, Brian. I don't know how I got that wrong. Okay, so this is actually, I forgot to read the summary of this thing. She came to the beach to write, but she's getting distracted by the surfer next door. Jenna, a single mom and successful author, has 5 weeks to deliver her next young adult novel to the publisher. This year's summer getaway with her kids will be a working vacation. The only problem? Lucas, the devil-may-care surfer in the beach rental next to hers. He cranks up his music at night, hosts loud volleyball matches, and allows his dog to run around at will. Jenna often blames him for her writer's block, but before long, she begins to see a new side of her neighbor at the shore. Maybe opposites do attract, but will that attraction fade like a sunset once summer is gone? Woohoo!
I have seen that one. I had to look it up to get the actors and things in my head. But yeah, Peter Porte. I don't know how you say
I don't know. The only one I had heard of was, I can't remember her name now, but she was on, she played Grace on The Mentalist. Amanda Respighi or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, Rigetti or
Rigetti.
Something like that. Yeah.
This funny emotional romance includes a free Hallmark original recipe for shrimp scampi. Megan said, still working away on my online training, hoping to stop soon and actually do some reading or work on my reading journal. So when do you start the supply teaching, or is this a training and then you'll get a job? I'm curious. Pause that refreshes. So anyway, I am at the point where we've established that they're at the beach, and yeah, she's trying to get some work done. He's making noise. His dog is running around loose, and she thinks he's a total slacker. Apparently he's not totally, but she doesn't want her son is kind of like looking up to him, and she's like, don't look up to him, don't do anything he does.
Yeah, because he's like acts like a total beach bum, but he's not really. He's like, yeah.
Well, he owns the summer camp her son is attending, but he's hands off. He's hands off. Megan says, I have to finish the training before I can actually start going into schools, but I am officially hired already. Oh, that's good. And Jenny says, I paid the electricity bill. I'm really missing those summer bills. Finished cleaning the kitchen, and now I just have vacuuming and dusting. Vacuuming, dusting, vacuuming. It's the circle of dust. So anyway,
the bill was like super high this go around. It's crazy. And
I don't know. Our electricity bill goes up in the summer because that's when we use the air conditioner.
Well, see, and like we use like little heaters, but I've been trying really hard like to not have mine on unless I absolutely need it. So I feel like we haven't used it as much as before, but it's just it was super high, and we're like kind of panicking because we don't have a whole lot of money. So it's like, great.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
It wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have to buy wood too, because then we have to spend like $60 a rick for wood as well, and so it's like,
yeah. So you're paying for both wood and electricity in an attempt to stay warm. Yeah, we use heating oil, so. Which is not free, it turns out. Go, Jenny, says Megan. Yeah, that sounds very, very productive.
Yes. I also I posted my 3 books that I talked about earlier on my Pingo store, so that was
Yeah, this thing.
productive a little.
Jenny says our summer bill was a little over $100, but winter has been $400. Not impressed.
See,
I bet
ours
not.
was ours is always kind of on the high side because I think it's the electric company that we have because other people have different electric company and theirs don't always seem to be quite as high as ours. But you can't really change it because unless you want to go a whole month without electric, they won't let you change over. You have to go like a whole month, and I think that's crazy. But so we just
Yeah,
never have changed, and so normally our electric bill is maybe almost 300 or a little over 300, but it was like 460.
I am not the person who takes care of the electricity around here. What my mom will do is she'll just kind of tell me how she doesn't give me dollar amounts. She just looks at the wattage, and sometimes she doesn't give me the specific amounts, but she's just like, oh, we spent more on electricity this year than we did the same month last year, or we spent less. So
We are
I
not ones
remember
to
when it
like
was so
pay that close
miserably
attention.
what?
So I guess we just don't really pay that close attention to like what the wattage is and things.
Well, because uh I remember like in August it was really miserable. I was miserable. Everybody was miserable, and we're trying not to run the I mean, the air conditioner. We did not have it set super cold or anything, but it was running most of the time because it just never cooled off. And in our climate, it doesn't get terribly cool overnight during the summer. And so we got the electricity bill, and my mom was like, actually, we spent less on electricity this August than we did the previous August. And I was like, oh, I thought we were using it more. And she says, apparently not.
I think the thing that I'm going to have to worry about for the summer, and I am not looking forward to it, is I may end up having to get a new air conditioner for my room because it went out like it wasn't working. So I don't know if I need to take it out of the window and like give it a good scrub down or something to see if that will make it work or whatever. But it's, I mean, I've had it for a while, so it just might be old too. And those things
Mm-hmm.
are not cheap. So.
Yeah. Lisa says our bill is better. In the summer, it was over 600. Now it's only 400.
And I couldn't live up here in my room without an air conditioner.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's really super hot up here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm on the side of the house that catches the sun like in the morning, and then it's overhead, and it's just my room is my bedroom. Let's this room, because this room has only one. This is a smaller room. It only has one exterior window, but my bedroom has a long wall and a short wall that are both exterior. And in the summer, it's the hottest, and in the winter, it's the coldest. So
Well, we had when we built this house ourselves. I always say with love and crooked lines because it's not perfect by any means. But in 2008, uh, the tornado came through and ripped the roof off, and we had the blow-in insulation. So when the people that put our roof back on and the sheetrock for up here, they didn't put any insulation or anything in it. And so it makes it extremely hot in the summer
yeah,
and really cold if it's really cold outside in the wintertime and everything. So it's like we tried to shove like because there's a part that I made and it's like you've got like the sheetrock here, but then up here at the top it's wood and everything. We put like wood slats up there and then it's got sheetrock going down the other side. And so when we did the wood part ourselves, and so we tried to shove as much like insulation down through there as we could. But I mean, unless you have like extremely long arms, you can only shove it so far down in there. So we tried
yeah.
to insulate a little bit.
Well, our house was built by weirdos in 1839, so whatever, man. Jenny says, Megan, what is your training? And yay to being hired. She's, uh, I guess, learning policies and procedures relating to being a supply teacher, what we in the US would call a substitute teacher.
Oh,
Megan says it's just going over a bunch of policy and procedures of the board, not important, but not the most fun. Yeah. So yeah, like in the US, we would call that a substitute teacher.
and they expect you to have this all memorized? I hope not. 'Cause
Um,
I would be like, yeah, okay, I've read it all, but that don't mean I remember it or whatever.
well, I mean, you need to know stuff like about like the policy about being a mandatory reporter and that kind of thing, I think. Yes, a substitute. Megan is verifying my
That's cool
understanding.
because, like, I didn't really know you had to know anything to be a substitute. Do you have to here in the United States? I didn't know.
You need to know the policies of the school district,
Okay.
like when you can
Like,
get,
I've never wanted to do a substitute,
yeah,
so I don't know.
like you need to know when to like, what disciplinary measures you can take and that kind of thing. And you need to know, like I said, if there's a mandatory, educators are usually mandatory reporters if they see anything going on with the students that they think that there's something wrong, you know, with their health or in their domestic situation or something.
Yeah,
They need to
okay.
know those policies.
I got you.
Uh,
Like, I
what to
could,
do in an emergency, for
yeah, I
that
don't
matter.
like kids enough to want to ever do substitute.
I didn't like them. I didn't like kids when I was one.
Yeah,
Excellent,
exactly.
excellent, says Jenny. And Megan says, not memorized, but just be aware of. After each section, I have to take short quizzes. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I also stopped off at Marshall's, and they have books, and I found The Lodge by Kayla Olson.
Now, does Marshalls have books that are cheaper? Or,
Yeah. Generally speaking, yes.
Like, we don't have a Marshalls around here. Like, we used to have a TJ Maxx. Is that the same? Or, I don't know. Is that kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, TJ Maxx has books too. These books that I got were $5.99 each for trade.
Okay.
And like when I got Good Spirit, I actually got a couple of new releases. I got Good Spirits by B.K. Borison and Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn. I don't know when Good Spirits, those came out within the last couple of months. I got those and they were $9.99 each. These are a little less. They're probably not as. Anyway, so I got The Lodge, which is a winter romance, but I think it's winter, but not Christmas. So by Kayla Olson.
That'll be a good one for right now, then. Yeah.
Yeah. And Forever Pucked by Helena Hunting.
Yeah.
Hockey romance.
That name sounds familiar, like the author.
Yeah. I don't think she's the kind of writer that you would enjoy, but
yeah, like
talk about her.
Now and then the names will hit me. Like, I think I've heard somebody talk about.
Yeah. And Megan says, in Canada, to be a substitute, you have to be a fully educated, trained teacher.
Oh,
Often supply teaching is how you get into a full-time position. Is that what you're trying to do?
Okay. Like, here, people tell me all the time, like, you could be a substitute teacher because I have like a degree or whatever, but I'm like, no way. I mean, I don't even, and it's not an educational degree or anything. It's a history degree, but
fellow history major. Nice.
But I guess that it doesn't matter, like the degree, I guess, to be a substitute teacher around here. Maybe they're just lacking in people that want to do it. But I'm like, no, I would be so stressed out by the end of the day, I couldn't do it.
There we go. And Kristen says, just say no.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
No.
Oh, so I got these two books. And I got a Kindle. It's called Slow Burn Romance.
Cool.
And it's amber, saffron, jasmine. Very nice.
Do you have a favorite candle place to get your stuff from, or?
No.
No.
It's saffron. Yeah, saffron, jasmine, and amber. I usually do get them at TJ Maxx, etc. And But people give me nice candles too. I appreciate it. And Kristen says, it's a hot mess in these schools, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. This is your first week, isn't it? Meanwhile, Bia's joined us and she says, I just accepted another sub job, LOL.
Well, you
And
know,
says,
I feel like B though has that like I don't know personality that would probably fit okay in like a school setting.
Well, I mean, and she used to be a full-time teacher, so
yeah, and okay, that helps too. Then she's not knows how. Me, I'm like kids get out of my way because I'm like.
Well, I'd be like, I'm a substitute teacher. I don't care if you do well. I don't care if you get into college.
Yeah, I feel like I would be like when I was a kid, or like I guess like junior high, we had this one substitute, and she was like we called her Mrs. Hitler because
Mrs. What?
Hitler.
Oh my goodness!
Because she'd come in there and had her hair back in a bun, you know, and all that stuff, and she'd come in there and she'd be like, "My name is such and such. This is what you're gonna do," and yeah, I don't want to hear anything, blah blah, you know. And we're like,
okay. And Megan says, I'm not looking for full-time right now, but yes, I have to get a specific education degree and certification from the College of Teachers / Government. And, ooh, I wish I could smell that candle, says Mama needs to read romance. Well, if you go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods, you'll probably be able to find one. It is West Coast Candle Company is the name of the manufacturer. And then she says, yeah, I taught for 10 years, first and second grade, LOL. And
you must
Megan
have
says,
the patience of a saint.
You must have what?
I said she must have the patience of a saint.
Yes, she's done many lives with me, and she's always
you can put up with socks, you can put up with anybody, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey B, says Kristen. Everybody's saying hey to B. Hey B indeed. So that was those were my books that I picked up at Marshall's, and I already talked about my academic and public library adventures. So you studied history. Did you have a particular era that you were interested in?
I had one that I was kind of interested in, but I never like went farther in it than just getting a basic history degree. But it sounds weird, but I wanted to study like crimes and criminals. That's what it like.
Yeah.
Like the old West stuff. I was always really interested in like Jesse James and things like that. But at our school, the when you do your thesis and everything to graduate, and our teacher for that was Jewish. So he was very into the Holocaust and World War II and everything like that. So he wouldn't let us just do whatever we wanted. We had to do something on that, which aggravated me.
Well, I know because like when I took historiography at the graduate level, that's like, the study of history. Well, you know that. Our teacher was just like so big into the Civil War, and it was the 150th anniversary and so I had to write about the Civil War, and that was not my thing. So actually, because I'm mostly interested in the 20th century and social movements. So actually what I got permission to do was I wrote my paper about observations and commemorations around the 100th anniversary of the Civil War here in Connecticut. So I was happy to find a way to make it more about my interests.
And one of the things though that he wanted is we had to get oral report or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so this was in I think around 2004 when I graduated or whatever. World War II. Hello, how many of them are dead already? I mean, it's like, and you want us?
Well, I mean, my mom was a kid. She was born. She was actually born just shortly after the war started in Europe in 1939, and she remembers stuff about the war. And I mean, obviously on the home front, she wasn't like a toddler out there fighting Nazis, but
yeah. Well, it was really hard to like, because if you picked a subject, then you had to find people to go with that subject. So to do anything crimes or criminal wise, that there was no way that was going to happen around my area or whatever. So I ended up doing mine on propaganda.
Oh, Oh, that's pretty
Uncle
interesting.
Sam
I mean, to
wants
me,
you.
that's pretty interesting.
Uncle Sam wants you, and like all the we can do it and stuff. And then it was easier to find just somebody that remembers the propaganda and stuff that they had.
Yeah, yeah. Kat of Kat's Novel Adventures stopped by to say, "Hey, Sock, Stormy, and friends, I'm taking a brief break to feed my dogs and do a couple of chores." Hello, hello, nice to see you. So I think it's maybe time for another sprint.
So I'm probably gonna have to get off because Dad says it's time to probably build a fire, and a lot of times it takes forever. It's getting cold. Like our day is like it's getting colder as it drops, and so
Okay.
and I'm the fire builder. And sometimes it cooperates and it does really well, and then sometimes it takes me an hour to get the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
It's
it's been
chaotic.
fun
It's just
hanging out with you.
it's literally chaotic. Like,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much for joining me. If you want to come back, you know,
Yeah.
you're not banishing yourself forever, I hope.
No, but like if I can get it going and it works really, I can, and you're still on, I can pop back in, but I just don't know if it's going to take, I don't know how long you're going to be on and if it'll take me too long.
I'm not sure. I probably no later than 5 o'clock here, 4 o'clock for you. So like another hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a little stiff, and also I'll probably want to eat something. We are having a dreary day here, says Kat. And Jenny says, "Bye, Stormy." Okay, so it is 3:37. So I'm going to go until 10 after the hour, and I will update you on how Jenna, her kids, and the slacker next door are doing. Megan says, "I think I'm stopping training and going to update my reading journal." Nice to switch tasks. So yes, so a little bit over a half an hour until 10 past the hour. So
I may see you in the chat and say hi in the chats.
okay, yeah, yeah. Whatever works for you. Whoops. I almost. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. Okay, if I don't, I'm sure I'll see you around somewhere along the line.
Probably. Bye.
Yep. Bye. And we're back. It's 10 past the hour where I am. And so, yeah. How'd everybody do? Last week, toward the end of my live stream, I wasn't getting any comments. And then as I logged off, suddenly StreamYard released all my comments. And it turned out there were these comments that people were making that I wasn't seeing. I don't know what that was about, but I wanted to acknowledge that. Cat says I finished my chores. Nice. And did the dog, was it dog or dogs, have a nice walk? I am now on page 166 of Love at the Shore. Jenny says, finish my chores and now I can get to reading a little. Ooh, what are you reading? And did you make a choice on your Beauty and the Beast retelling? Megan says, got some more reading journal stuff done. Trying to figure out page layout right now. Ooh. You'd have a bunch of different page layouts. It's your journal. Anyway, so I'm enjoying this book. It's a kind of a relaxed summer romance. It's not like the usual unhinged nonsense that I get up to or read about people getting up to in Harlequin Presents. I am enjoying it. It's just nothing particularly is standing out. It's just a nice, mellow, good time. Kat says, thanks for the sprint sock. Hopping off to get ready for my sprints. Bye, friends. Oh, you're having sprints? Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Or I might not, actually. I might need a nap. See you there or not. Anyway, so yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it's just like it's not crazy. Stormy says 33% into my book and still working on getting the fire going. Oh, it turns out Lucas, the slacker surfer next door, who is of course a retired investment banker who went to Berkeley for his MBA, and yeah, of course, he's an expert at getting the bonfire started. That's actually the second book I've read today where a main character was an expert at getting the bonfire started. What was the other book I was reading? Oh no, it was a book I was reading a couple of days ago. But yes, we have these people who are really good with bonfires, and it's like, are you good at other kinds of fires, or is it just bonfires? Specialists. Stormy says, Cat is like you. She has sprints every Wednesday. Nice, nice. Well, if I don't nap out first, uh, I'll see about going and hanging out. Jenny says, I picked Beauty in Winter by Alexa Riley. I was going to do the Debbie Maycomer, but I couldn't find it through Libby or Hoopla. I got Beauty by Susan Wilson. It's a novella. It's like 250 pages long, something like that. So I got that. I picked that up at the library last week. I don't know. I feel like I spend a lot of time at the library. Anyway, so yeah, so it's an enjoyable enough book. It's just there's not a whole lot of tea to spill because, like I said, it's just like, you know, he is commitment shy. He doesn't have children of his own. He's not necessarily interested in having children, but of course, her children are kind of like growing on him. He's kind of starting to enjoy hanging out with them. Her son is trying to figure out how to be a better swimmer, so he's kind of helping with that because her son goes to his summer camp. So, you know, and so it's just kind of, like I said, it's nice, relaxed. Her biggest problem is she's got to figure out how her book is going to end, the book she's writing. So I am kind of curious to see the movie now, just to kind of compare the two experiences. And I'm wondering if I might get another Teri Wilson book that isn't a novelization, because this is a novelization of a script she did not write. So I'm kind of curious to see what a story by her that is entirely her creation, start to finish, would look like. Oh, and by the way, she is famous for writing stories with dogs in them, apparently. The dog in this one is next door retired investment banker surfer dude's dog, and his name is Tank. So, yeah, Tank. And he's a high-spirited dog, but basically a good boy. So let me see. I have no way of knowing if people are saying things and Discord's just holding on to it for some reason, or if people are just like, yes, maybe it's time for another sprint. So anyway, the basic conflict, it starts off, the conflict is he's her next door neighbor. He plays his music loud at night. His dog is kind of a little high-spirited. And now they're kind of moving into sort of friendship territory. And I think the next main conflict is going to be that she's just in town for the summer and he isn't particularly interested in being a dad, but he's already started to make dad jokes and realize that about himself. So yeah, I think we're just cruising toward a relatively drama-free happily ever after. So yeah, the one I read was my first Teri Wilson's is Stormy. It was Bluebonnet something or other, Bluebonnet Hills or something. Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of interested to read a book that's entirely hers as opposed to her writing a novelization of somebody else's script and somebody else's movie, somebody else's story. So I think the Bluebonnet Rescue, is that it? Bluebonnet Rescue? And special edition has never read that line before, though I have some in my collection. Yeah, I have a few Silhouette special editions from when it was still Silhouette special edition. And I know I didn't realize this until I was like organizing my books up in the attic the other day, but I do actually have, I think, one Harlequin special edition. I'm not sure though. Maybe Dog Days of Summer, set in Bluebonnet, Texas. That was it. I think one of the libraries around here has that book, but it's down in Old Saybrook, which is a nice drive on the shore. So I wouldn't mind hanging out, going down there to find it. I mean, I could order it delivered to the local library, but that takes time. And I think by the time I got it, January might already be over with. Okay, so unless somebody has something else they want to share, shall we have another sprint? Probably, let's see, another half hour. It's almost 20 past the hour. So maybe until 10 minutes to the hour, 50 minutes past the hour. Not sure if I can finish this in a half an hour, but we'll see. And Stormy says, I think the third book in the series is called Bluebonnet something. Okay, sure, you bet. Why not? It's the Bluebonnet whatever. Well, it could be that people were talking about Dog Days of Summer in the Bluebonnet Hill series or something like that. And I'm frequently getting my book titles mixed up with the series titles. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and sprint until 50 minutes past the hour, 10 minutes to the next hour. And like I said, I don't think I'll actually finish the book by then, but we'll see where things stand. And I'll see you guys in just about a half an hour. Okay. That was the end of that sprint, and I finished the book. It was a perfectly reasonable book about a perfectly reasonable group of people forming a perfectly reasonable family. All very, very reasonable. I did feel like the ending was a little, the ending was just like, oh, okay, we've settled a few differences and we have so much more to settle, but we're going to do that off page. And that was fine, I guess. I think it's the limitation. I mean, a Hallmark movie is not a particularly long experience. So, yeah, I enjoyed myself, and I think I am going to see if I can get my hands on another Teri Wilson book again that she wrote start to finish, as opposed to adapting somebody else's work. Not that I think it was bad adaptation. Well, I don't know because I haven't seen the movie, but like I said, I'm just curious to see what she does when she has complete, well, not complete, when she has basic creative control over the entire process. It's her story from start to finish. So, yeah, Love at the Shore by Teri Wilson. How'd everybody else do? Kristen had to leave because she had a meeting. I hope this isn't another case where Discord's just holding on to my comments and then I log off and suddenly a cascade of comments. Uh, uh, Cat of Cat's Novel Adventures has started her sprints. So now that my sprints are just about over, if you are eager to continue sprinting fun, that's a place you can migrate to. I might go over there. I might not. Before I can, though, I got to do some cleanup around the house and stuff. Yay, says Jenny. I can't believe you finished already. It was very easy to read. Like from a physical standpoint, it was very easy to read. The font and the margins and everything it was very pleasant physical experience, as well as and the enjoyment I got from the story itself. Let's see. Still here and got some progress on my page layout dilemma. Nice. And Roxy, I think this is the other Roxy, Crush Aloha Roxy. She says, I just got here at the end. Well, and yeah, well, glad you're here. You can always watch it back. I know sometimes it's not as much fun to watch sprints back later. So glad I could join today and actually enjoy the sprint time, says Megan. Well, that's always the goal. Yeah, so I think next week I am probably going to find another Harlequin Presents or Candlelight Ecstasy to dive into, because as much as I mean, I enjoyed this mellow time, and I kind of did enjoy an unseasonable reading a summer beach read in the middle of winter. I do kind of have more fun when the live sprints having like an unhinged melodrama where I could just be like, you guys would not believe what just happened. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Somebody share my pain. Share my pain. So I think probably that's where what I'll do next week. We shall see. And again, if anybody wants more sprinting fun, Cat's Novel Adventures, sprinting. And yeah. The tiaras. Yeah. So if anybody has anything else you want to share, now would be the time to do it. Or not. I am not the boss of you. In terms of what's coming up for me, let's see. I posted a attic organization vlog yesterday. I have some stuff that's in progress. Jenny says, thanks for the sprints and conversation. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Anyway, I have a couple of videos kind of in progress. I went to Book Barn on Monday to complete the errand that I wasn't able to complete back in December, which was dropping some books off, and I bought some books. So I need to finish that video and post it. I just basically need to do the haul on the books I picked up. and I put together a piece of furniture for book organization. I need to uh I did the before video. I need to do like the I'm done video, but I also need to style the books and decide exactly how I'm going to use that piece of furniture, which I haven't actually decided yet. So there's nothing to film. I can film the after, like this is what it looks like put together, but I can't film the this is how I'm going to stock and style it yet because I don't know how I'm going to stock and style it. I do want to at some point film the announcement for Countdown to Valentine's Day. I will be reading Meet Cute, a story a day, as it is designed to be read. And if anybody wants to join me for a read along, that'll be fun, maybe or not. And so I'm going to do an announcement about that sometime soon. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to get posted next. It kind of depends on what I move to work on. So and like how things like stocking and styling my new book organization furniture goes and that kind of thing. So probably the next thing up will be the book barn video or the Meet Cute Countdown to Valentine's Day announcement because those are the ones that have the least. I mean, I already know pretty much what I'm going to be doing in those videos, so they have the least amount of prep to do. So yeah, if you're interested, keep an eye out for those, or don't not. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I'll probably see you in people's comments in live streams and sprints before then. But Megan says, thanks for the sprints today. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I look forward to hearing about your thoughts on the Valentine's book. Well, yeah, I'm going to read it. Again, I'm going to read it one a day starting on February 1st. So by the time I get to it, it'll be like already in progress. I'm not going to read it. I mean, I did think about reading in advance so I could uh, kind of give a review so people could decide whether or not they wanted to buy it for themselves in time for Valentine's Day. But I decided I just wanted to read it kind of the way it's designed to be read, marketed to be read. So anyway, well, thank you all very much for joining me. If you're watching this back later, thank you for doing that. And I will see you, like I said, I'll be here next week, and I'll probably be in the comments at the very least on other people's live streams as the week continues. And so I'll see you around. Bye.